This next iteration is where we're going to see bagpipes. We're going to see a centaur playing bagpipes. That's my guess.
No. So you missed town hall. So that was also mentioned. There will never, ever, ever, ever be bagpipes. There was a meeting. There was a vote. Never gonna happen.
Lies. It's all misdirection.
Possibly. But there's important business to take care of, which is revolving around bands, of course, because that's the big topic.
Right.
So,
right.
I did a little mucking around in the data,
Okay.
and I identified the star ratings of the bands that have been created so far, and something that surprised me. I mean, I think when I told you, you weren't that surprised, but there's a 1.5 star band.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, I'll bring up the screen here so everybody can see it. So this is the little thing that you sent me.
It's
Here,
kind of, yeah, it's rudimentary, but short notice and all.
Well, I mean, I think what shocks me, one is the 1.5 star band, but I'm not terribly shocked by that. As I've been experimenting more and more and collecting data on bands, I could see how that's possible. Like, you could just put your worst Blockstars in the worst positions to get the worst score. Like, they can always be lower.
Yeah, although as soon as I saw that there was the potential for a 1.5 star band, I tried to make one. It was surprisingly difficult.
Interesting. Oh,
yeah,
but it
I could
begs
get
the
to
question.
2 very easily, but 1.5 was kind of difficult.
That's a feat. Yeah, we need terrible blocks. That's going to be a detriment, because I don't know. Like, do I have enough terrible Blockstars to make that happen?
So now there's going to be a run on really bad block.
But
really
it begs the
skill.
question. It begs the question: could we make a 1-star band?
Right. That was going to be my next thing. Like, how low can you go?
What is the bottom cutoff point? Can we make
exactly?
That'll be a fun video. We should save that for a future video.
Yeah, but you do see the nice, like, almost perfect bell curve there, which is impressive.
That is, and 5-star bands, because we tried to build one in a recent video that we were recording, and it was quite difficult without having to nag me into it, without having to pull something out.
Yeah.
Or at the very least having Blockstars that have secondary skills maxed out. Like, that's really what we needed to really make that work. So it's impressive that we have 3 so far. I would like one. I don't have one yet. I do believe, based on all of the algorithm computational data in building bands at an alarming rate, the general skills are more important than the musical skills. Not necessarily much more, but I could have a subpar musical band with a phenomenal general score and have a higher star rating than if the reverse is true.
Interesting. Well, it kind of makes sense.
Right. And so my thought was because we've got 6, I believe, general skills that we're weighing here. So a band that has 6 musical skills, does that then even out? Is it just weighted by number of skills, or is there actual weighting towards the general?
You read my mind again. Yeah. That was exactly where I was going with it. Exactly.
And I have not been able to test that yet, because the exponential increase that my program had to do to run a 6-member band was in the near, if not past, the billions it was overloading the server that I'm running the program on. I either need to increase the server or expedite the program, and I've chosen to do the latter. So I should have an answer, but I don't know yet.
Yeah, I was able to in one of my iterations last night. I was able to get to like 14 billion
Yep.
combinations.
Yep.
No, so now we know why Sherry needed another computer and broke several along the way.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. But this isn't the only thing you wanted to show me. What else did you want to show me?
So I wanted to start with this, and then we have what it can only be considered a like breaking news sneak peek right now.
Ooh.
Um,
All right. Should I bring it up?
I think if we bring up the video that we're talking about, it's called Band Rehearsing,
Ooh.
and it is a full band, and they are in a place called what's it called?
I think Enchanted Forest was what I
Enchanted
heard.
Forest. Yeah. So to me, this signals a location for band practice. First of all,
Yeah. Interesting. And now I'm curious to how will band practicing affect the skills?
yeah, yeah. I think in the last town hall, I had asked a couple of questions about that.
See, but that's the thing, right? Like I thought about because you can only assign one block star to the practicing component. Does that mean that the entire group gets that number for practicing?
So yeah, so I did ask that question in town hall,
Good,
and
because
what
we think identical. So I need to know these answers.
so Sherry's answer was that they all get more XP, but the one assigned to that skill perhaps gets, like a little bit more, or she even said gets a little more or maybe something else, which I don't know what that could mean, but and I just did air quotes, by the way.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so they all do increase, but the one that's assigned to practicing increases more. And same
Okay.
thing with gigging.
Okay. So this is interesting. So I'm looking at the Enchanted Forest here, and so we have interesting. Most locations that we've seen have been very San Francisco like, if I can say. Right? Like we've
Mhm.
seen like the picnic and the
Yeah.
barbecue out by the pier, a lot of the cityscape, which makes sense. I mean, many of them are located in San Francisco or have a love of San Francisco.
California-ish, I would
California-ish.
say.
Yeah. So this to me looks like the redwoods in California, those giant redwood
Oh,
forests. So I'm
interesting.
again feeling this. I'm waiting for them to have a winter biome. Like where my Canada at? Like come on.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I want
exactly.
when you look at this being, this has kind of got like a swampy look to it.
Definitely.
Do you as a Florida person have pause worried about like crocodile attacks?
Well, first of all, we have alligators.
Oh, right, right. I don't know what the difference is. Sure.
I think we have both, but we have alligators. That's what we're known for.
Right,
Eh,
Florida
and
gators. I guess that makes sense.
and yes, there's a lot of swampland in Florida, but I don't live near any of it, so it's quite foreign to me. But I see it looks like there's like some candles maybe floating around in the
No, no,
water.
this is
Or
an enchanted forest. Those are like fairies and pixies, my guess is.
oh yeah, in the background.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
talking
candles.
about
Oh, on the
in the
water.
water, or is that just like pink?
Bioluminescent. This is actually a toxic waste dumping ground.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what
that
I'm
makes
getting
sense.
from this.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Those are dead fish that have been illuminated by the radiation
Oh,
of.
okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. That's nobody knew that climate problems and environmental disasters happen in the Blockstarsville too.
I definitely need to cut that out.
What do you mean cut it out? It's gold, Jerry. It's gold.
No gold. It's not. It's barely bronze. But I do see the little floating pixie dust in the back there.
Yep.
Enchanted Forest. And then you know what is really cool? And I think this is a shout out to Dave and the team, but Do you see the shadow on the drum set?
I do. Yes.
It's very cool.
Yeah, like how the lighting is affecting it. That's
Mm-hmm.
solid Unity physics there going on, lighting
Yeah.
physics. Now, there is one thing that immediately sticks out to me in this, right? So we're talking about Enchanted Forest. We're talking about that. So I wonder if can I head to? I'm gonna head to Magic Eden here. I'm gonna show
Mm-hmm.
something. This right here, type human. I've always wondered about. So if we're looking at the Enchanted Forest, are we going to be seeing like, you know what? Next iteration, there's going to be a satyr playing a pan flute. Will be the next new band instrument.
So that's something only you would wish for,
What
but
do you mean only I would wish for? Come on.
yeah.
You can't.
I don't know. I
You asked.
mean,
You were talking about sneak peeks. They'll hide things and like the depth of messages. This is what I'm saying. And then this next iteration is where we're gonna see bagpipes. We're gonna see a centaur playing bagpipes. That's my guess.
but I think and it's interesting. Everyone goes back to that whole type human,
Yeah.
and everyone has questions about that. So, you know, Enchanted, maybe. Who knows?
I'm telling you, fantasy iteration. Because we need new genres too, right? And like, there's only a limited number of like genres, so we need to add to that. And so we got to go into the fantasy realm. We'll get into the sci-fi realm. That'll be season 3.
Oh, man. Does anybody else get a say in this besides you? Because, yeah.
Just be glad they haven't hired me yet to do product development. We're good.
Yeah, I'm very glad. Very glad of that.
All right.
No, but I think, it could happen. It could happen that there are, some enchanted Blockstar creatures in the future, but I think it's the location is cool.
It is. It is.
The whole effects, I mean, is really nice.
Well, and you can see too, like if we were to look at perhaps some of the like the original, like do you remember when they added like a whole bunch of locations for like the summer and things like that? The
Yeah.
images for that, some of them felt a little bit on the bland side. Right? They were, I remember the barbecue one, and it was neat to see how the world was starting to build up. But you look at something like this, and if you look over on the edges, like even on like the different little tiny squares on the tree, right? Like the bark and how that kind of looks out. Whereas previously, I don't think it would have had that level of detail, or
Yep.
the reeds that are coming up and all the rest, and the
Yep.
waviness of the water mixing with the blocks. Like you can tell there's a lot more effort. And I think the Times Square video really demonstrates that too, right? Like if I were to put let me see here. I'll take it. You can see in the Times Square video, right? Like there's so much going on in that image
Hmm.
that we won't. I like this level of detail. This makes it feel exciting.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. The shading,
Yep. Yep.
it's like texture, really. Uh,
The depth of things, like if you look in the background here, I'll show you on the Times Square video that they have. Uh, on the left hand side, there's a rolling marquee. Uh, I zoomed in to be like, is there like a secret message on that
oh
rolling
man.
marquee? And it basically is just like soul is up 300% and like all of the like Blockstars is number one, that sort of thing. But I had
Oh, so
looked.
like
I,
the blue
yep,
scrolling
the blue
words.
scrolling
Okay.
things. Yep,
Interesting. I've never looked at that. I actually never even noticed it until right now.
yeah.
So,
It was actually one of the community members fed it asked me to see if there was a hidden message there, and if I could, if I had the tools to zoom in and see stuff like that. But yeah,
like the non-human Blockstar series is coming.
yeah, exactly, like something hidden that we didn't know. But yeah,
Uh-huh. So, well, the only question left to ask is, since this practicing or band rehearsal, band practicing video loop is out there, does that mean we're getting practicing anytime soon?
I hope so, because then it's going to force me to actually build the band.
Well, yeah, that's true. You need to commit, man. Come
Oh
on.
man, one
It's
roll.
one roll. Come on, man.
Well, and I would say like it will introduce an interesting component for me because I won't be building the best bands then. My goal will be the best practicing bands. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
okay.
Right? Like I'm going to be, all those ones that have super high practicing on my roster, I'm going to be spreading them out regardless of the quality of the band because I just want to get everybody's skills up. I'm not recording
Yeah.
songs yet. I don't care.
But you realize that if practicing is released, and even if practicing and gigging are both released, there's no way for your band to make money. It's only spend.
So, well, yeah. I mean, I do have enough Blockstars to relegate my harpsichord player to sitting on street corners. And
Right. So you'll have your buskers out there
yeah.
making money so your band can practice.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Things are going to get more complicated.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Lot more to manage. Yep,
We're getting there.
definitely.
Well, thanks for sharing and tracking down the band rehearsing video.
We should thank Craig because it's nice to get these little sneak peeks and get them out there so everybody can see stuff.
Awesome. Well, that's
it for us.
like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah.
All right.
Peace out.
Latest.